How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. In this video, I just want to talk about something quite relatable at the moment, which is dealing with losses and slow phases. So, obviously, we have been through a slow phase in November where we basically broke even for the whole month. And then, of course, this month so far, we have hit just a few losses and we actually haven't had a winner yet. So, obviously, not favorable, but just thought I'd talk through that and how that's actually how to deal with these things when they happen, because for myself it's quite easy. I've been trading a while. I've seen wins, I've seen losses, uh, quite a lot so to speak. So I'm pretty much prepared. I have a good mindset, and I'm pretty much ready to sit through the slow phases and the loss phases in the market, because I know that overall the performance speaks for itself and the profits that we make are very healthy. So I know that it can be a bit difficult when you're going through a slow phase or a losing streak to actually stay calm and collected and cool about it, because if you don't have the mindset at the point where it needs to be, it can be difficult. So this video, I'm not going to keep it too long. I don't want to go on too much, but I do have a few pointers to talk about. So first off then, yep, a solid mindset and patience is required to win. Oh, by the way, as well, there's not going to be a whole lot on the video side. This video, just chatting. So maybe if you want to stick this on in the background, you're not going to miss anything. Anyway, solid mindset and patience is required to win in trading. You're going to need patience for those slow phases like November. And of course, you'll need that mindset to actually sit through the losses as well. If you don't have a solid mindset, you don't have confidence in what you're doing, your abilities, your trading, you are going to get left behind by the market. You are probably going to run into quite a lot of stress. So that's the first thing, is just to consider your mindset. Okay, are you thinking clearly? Are you thinking straight? Are you doing enough personal development, reading enough books, putting enough time into the market to actually understand and know, um, you know, that your mindset is in the right place? So that is, of course, the first pointer. Now, something to mention as well is, even if your mindset is in the right place, you can't just sit and wait and hope things pick up. There are a few actions that you're going to need to take on a losing streak or in a slow phase in the market to make sure that you can actually bring things back successfully. So, obviously, like everything, you can't just sit, hope, wait that everything turns back, wait and hope that everything turns back to normal. You actually have to go forward and approach the situation and try and conquer it. So there's a few steps I'm going to go through of what you should really do if you hit a slow phase or a losing streak in the market. So step one is going to be knowing when to take a step back. Now, sometimes a slow phase or a losing streak is only going to be a couple of weeks. And in that case, it's fine. You can just, as long as you know that that is based down to your plan and you are trading to your plan, and that is simply just something that's happened right now, then that's not too much of a big deal. I mean, a couple of weeks of minimal profits is completely fine, fairly normal. I mean, that's why people generally like to look at profit on a month by month basis, because I mean, even on the winning months we have, I know like September, I think we won about 8%. The first 2 weeks of September, we literally did no trades. And we complete slow phase because there was no trades around in the market that fit in line with my plan. But by trading my plan, we still finished the month with around 8% profit, because the last 2 weeks of the month were nice and favorable. And that just takes us back to another point, that you don't need to be in the market all the time. You can actually take a step back from the market and just trade when your plan allows you to trade. So if a slow phase is, a couple of weeks, or a losing streak is a couple of weeks, and it's with reason, and you are trading your plan, and you can confidently say that you have been trading your plan, that's fine. Just keep rolling with your plan, keep working with it. However, if it extends to, say, a month long, this would go back to the kind of example in November, where we had basically a whole month of slow, no action. If it extends to a month or so, you need to take a step back from the market and begin to take things slowly, which is what I've actually done in December. Now, I think we've had 2 losses in December, and then I cut half a trade at gold. Cut the whole trade at half of the way to the stop loss. So it's like 5% down in December. We are only 2 weeks in. I'm not worried about the 5% loss, because simply 5% is one single winner, and then we're back on our feet. And then the next winner that we can get is going to bring us up quite healthily in profit. So I'm not too worried right now. Well, I'm not worried at all, to be honest. And this would be, the 2 weeks that we've been in a losing streak, so to speak, with the 2 losses and half a loss. With that, that's not a really major concern to me. But obviously with the slow phase before it in November, where we basically made nothing all month, of course, I need to take a step back. I need to work on finding out why, which takes us to point 2, okay? Diagnosing the problem. So when you know you're in a losing streak, or when you know you're in a slow phase in the market, you need to diagnose the problem. Now, as mentioned, if it's only a week or so long and it's nothing really to worry about, then you can just keep rolling with the market. However, if if this has been going on for a while, your slow phase has gone on for a few weeks, or you are losing for a few weeks straight, you need to actually think, right, what is the problem here? I can't just sit and wait and keep hoping that everything's going to turn out right. I need to go and diagnose the problem and find out what it is that's actually going wrong. So there are a few things to look at. It's going to be, is the problem your strategy? Okay. For example, is your strategy just not working in the current market environments? If so, you're probably going to have to go back and tweak that strategy in some parts, unless, of course, you are fine to not trade for a longer period of time until the markets provide what you want them to provide. Another thing, if it's not your strategy, or is it you breaking your strategy? Okay, so it could be something big. It could be you over risking, or just going in for trades here and there because you want to get back into the profits. You want to get back into the market after a slow or losing streak. Now, in that instance, that's never going to be a good thing to do. But it can be something super small. Now, this is actually what I'm going to put my slow month in November down to, because, of course, I've been through this process, this step-by-step process, diagnosed the problem, and actually found out what it is that was going wrong. Now, in December, the 2.5 losses so far, they are generally trades that have fitted inside of my plan and unfortunately just didn't work out. Now, if I'd have taken a higher frequency of trades, I probably would have hit some winners by now as well. But because I know step 1, when to take a step back, I've taken a step back from the market, and I'm just going to sit out now until, of course, some really, really good trades come around, and then we can get in, smash some profits. And I'm hoping the next 2 weeks we can actually get more back into the action, because I've done a lot of testing. I'm feeling very confident now, and the markets are providing some interesting setups. So what I thought my problem was, now this is a problem not so much with my strategy, but with how I'm trading my strategy. A very simple mistake, a small issue, but it causes big issues because, of course, you hit loss after loss, or you hit loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, and end up break even. Now, the small issue that I've noticed when I reviewed the November trades was market structure. Okay, to start the month, we got a really nice winner around 7%, so that actually kept us afloat for the month. We then, of course, did hit some wins, did hit some losses. Now, some of those break evens, a lot of break evens happened. If they'd have played out, we would have worked out brilliantly, but we got tapped out at break even on a lot of trades due to the market conditions, because of the election, because of the increased volatility and uncertainty around that election. But that's not the whole problem, okay? I'm not just here palming the problem onto something else. Some of the other trades I looked at when I reviewed them, I noticed that the market structure was not in my favor. Now, the market structure is the king, really, and the main thing we want to focus on, and that's the higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows formation of the market. Now, in November, I noticed from some of the trades, I did get caught up focusing on the liquidity, focusing on many of the other aspects that drew me away from market structure, and I ended up actually, on some of the trades, going against the higher time frame structure. So, for example, we'd be looking for a long on GJ on the hourly chart, but if we look at the weekly chart, you're going to notice that it's actually quite bearish, and we could look to actually take it lower before we take it higher. So things like that. Now, that is my personal issue that I noticed that I found in the November trades. Not all of them, but some of them. And if I had actually just kept 100% to my strategy and made sure that I was trading with the structure as well, we probably could have came out a bit more profitable than a completely 0% flat month. So make sure you actually diagnose the problem. Is it the market conditions? Is it your strategy? Is it a simple mistake formed by just missing something out of your strategy? Maybe when you get too comfortable with your strategy, or there's so much going on in the market that you're focusing on everything except for one little thing that can be the make or break, like in my case, the market structure. Identify the problem, diagnose the problem, find out what it is you're doing wrong, and then actually focus on that. Now, that takes us to step 3, which is really the final point in dealing with the losing streaks, dealing with the slow phases, and that is going to be back testing. Okay, when you know the issue, make sure you back test. This means putting some hours into the chart. This means maybe sacrificing something you're going to do on the weekend, or if you do have the time free in the weekdays as well, put in a lot of work then as well. Now, I actually find the weekends more peaceful for backtesting because in the week, I'm focused on what the market is doing. I'm focusing on real live movements in the market. Now, if I can backtest on a weekend, I don't have to worry about missing trades. I don't have to worry about the market actually moving without me. So that is, just a bit of advice. But I mean, I do backtesting in the week as well. And if you can, then do it. Backtesting, of course, get your strategy relayed out. Okay, when you've found out the problem, right? Is it the market conditions? If it is, then backtest your strategy in those market conditions and get loads and loads of data. Get like 100 trades worth of data and see how they're working out in the current market conditions. Now, you may see that they are not winning, in which case you're going to need to rework your strategy, even if it's ever so slightly. You may notice that they are winning, and then you can, maybe consider if you just continue trading your strategy, very, very strict, and only taking the best trades, maybe you'll get back onto track really fast. It's also going to be, if you've diagnosed the problem to be something that you've accidentally missed out of your strategy. For example, you focused on everything else too much and avoided focusing on market structure, and that's what burned you. Well, then backtesting, you know that now, you can put that down, you can go and backtest your usual plan, but make sure you are incorporating especially the market structure or whatever aspect it is that's causing you problems. Now, if you do that, if you can then actually go ahead and backtest, see the results for themselves when you've incorporated that one little thing that you missed out, for example, market structure, and you'll see the results are so much better than what you've been getting in the live trading because you've actually now accounted for this really important thing that you before missed out. Now, if you do that, this is what I've been doing. It gives you a lot more confidence on the charts. It's going to give you a lot more confidence in your trading again, because to be honest, losses can knock your spirit. They are going to probably stress you out, maybe make you feel a little bit inferior in the market for the time that they're going down. But losses are a normal part of trading for everyone. Don't take it to heart. Now, I do think as well social media is to blame for this. A lot of the greatest traders, they have like 40% win rates and things, okay? And they'll hit losses regularly. I mean, everyone does. But social media, we have this false image of what a successful trader looks like, and what it actually takes to succeed. No one ever shows losses. No one ever shows the bad phases. They just show profit after profit after profit. They could have one profitable trade running and 3 losses, and they're only going to show the blue numbers. Okay, they're never going to show the others. And this is a kind of a misconception that forms from social media of what a trader and what successful trading looks like. Now, it's actually, to be honest, a lot more rocky than it appears on the surface, as I'm sure probably quite a lot of you will understand and know by now. And that's just something to consider, okay? Don't compare your trading to anyone else's. Don't get thinking, oh, damn, I've lost, a couple trades this week, I'm crap. No, that's not the case. You'll be back on track as long as you keep your confidence up. Make sure you're putting in the work to test and find out what the problems are with your trading. And then you can actually go ahead into the markets with new confidence and new understanding of what it is that went wrong and how you're actually going to change that, tackle that, and win with that. Okay. So that's all for this video. Let's not drag it out too long. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Hopefully this was just something nice you could listen to in the background. Now, podcast is actually something I'm definitely thinking about, so I can talk more about topics like this, so that you can go and drive or whatever and listen to them in the background as well. So podcast is probably something that I will be considering bringing into the members area soon. I'll just look at the best way to actually form podcasts. Maybe I could even drop them in the server so you can just quickly open them up. We'll see. So hopefully you've enjoyed this anyways. Thank you for listening. Hopefully it's given you a pointer or two you can work with. If you are on a losing streak, if you are going through a slow phase at any point, not even right now, just remember these steps, okay? Step 1, know when to take a step back from the market. Step 2, be ready to diagnose the problem and find out what it is you're doing wrong. And then step 3, back test with that incorporated and with that in your mind, and actually see, can you start to see better profits? Can you start to win a bit more than you were before previously, because you've now diagnosed that issue, tested it, and seen the results for themselves. So that is all then. Thank you for listening. I'll see you over in the server. I'm actually going to do the fundamental trading plan tonight as well, just talk about the dollar and the pound. And without further ado, we will get into another trading week. I'm not going to rush it, but I am probably going to try and pick up the pace a bit more than I did last week, because I've done so much testing now. Confidence is there. And I do believe before Christmas, we can actually nail in some profits for the month of December and finish this 100+% year off on a high.